Alright y'all, buckle up because this is about to melt your brain faster than a TikTok scandal on double speed. What if I told you that the so-called queen of unfiltered truth, Tasha K herself, just got torched in open court with receipts, so radioactive they make Chernobyl look like a scented candle? You heard me right. Did Bambi? Yes. That Bambi just drop a secret tape that flips this entire scripted circus on its head. And why is Hulu quaking harder than a soggy reality show reunion? Look, I'm talking plot twists so dirty they'd make a soap opera producer cry. We've got rigged edits, hush-hush contracts, hidden baby bumps, and a confession so that even the court stenographer needed a moment to clutch her pearls. How deep does this rabbit hole go? Who's really pulling the strings? And can Tasha K survive the tsunami of receipts about to drown her brand forever? Sit tight, because I'm about to break this all the way down, rip the filter off, and pour the hottest tea you've never even imagined sipping. This is bigger than any viral expos you've seen all year, so don't even think of scrolling. You do not want to miss what happens next, so let's get into it, because what just went down in that courtroom feels less like a legal proceeding, and more like the season finale of a scandal-soaked series written by the devil himself, Tasha K. Yes, the same Tasha K who built her empire brick by brick off the backs of celebrity drama, half-truths, and whisper campaigns, just got the kind of reality check money can't unwrite. You know, the one who strutted across YouTube for years throwing verbal grenades at anyone with a verified check and a hint of controversy. Well, now she's the one ducking for cover, and no amount of quick talking or cryptic Instagram captions is going to save her this time. This isn't a drill, and it sure ain't content for clicks anymore. When Bambi walked into that courtroom, people thought it was just another day of love and hip-hop drama dragging its feet into the legal system, but what they didn't expect was the energy shift that happened the moment she sat down and pulled out a flash drive that looked like it came straight from a spy movie. Yes, Bambi, the same Bambi that folks love to underestimate, who has spent years getting labeled bitter, jealous, messy, and every other insult the internet could cook up. But she didn't come with vibes, she came with receipts. Real ones, not that blurry screen-recorded nonsense people try to pass off in YouTube comments. The courtroom was dead silent as she handed over the drive and told the judge it contained audio that would not only discredit Tasha K's entire testimony but also reveal the true motive behind the whirlwind of online slander that's been aimed at her for months. You could practically hear the air being sucked out of the room when the audio started playing. Tasha's voice came through clear, crisp, unmistakable. And she was not reporting news, baby. She was scripting it. In the recording, she's heard coaching an anonymous woman, allegedly paid under the table, on what to say in an upcoming interview. Not just any interview, but one designed to destroy Bambi's image completely with fake narratives, emotional manipulation, and timelines that didn't even make sense. This was not journalism. This was character assassination with extra seasoning and a side of ego. The judge stopped the playback mid-sentence and asked where the recording came from. Bambi calmly responded that someone from Tasha K's own camp had reached out anonymously, fed up with being part of the circus, and handed her the files because, apparently, even clowns get tired of the show eventually. You should have seen Tasha's face. Gone was the smug confidence she usually wore like a designer bag. Her team tried to object, but it was too late. The judge ordered a full review of the audio and entered it into evidence. Now here's the thing. Tasha K has always danced on the line between controversial and dangerous, but this was the first time that dance landed her square in front of a judge who looked like he'd had enough of the theatrics. And it wasn't just the audio that shook the courtroom. It was the emails. Bambi's legal team came prepared like this was a finale episode, not a hearing. They pulled up a trail of correspondence between Tasha K and multiple alleged insiders, where she discussed strategies for dragging Bambi, manipulating the narrative, and even leveraging fake social media accounts to gaslight public perception. Imagine being so messy you need burner accounts just to keep your lies straight. It's giving obsessed. The court documents revealed that Tasha allegedly paid these sources using a third-party cash transfer app registered under a shell company. We're talking secret payouts, alias names, and time-stamped messages that could make your stomach flip. One message even joked about feeding Bambi to the wolves in an upcoming video drop. But the wolves weren't hungry anymore. The wolves wanted the truth. And the truth didn't just crawl out of the shadows, it exploded. People in the gallery were whispering. Some even gasped. Tasha looked like she wanted the floor to open up and swallow her whole. Bambi, on the other hand, kept her composure. No tears, no tantrum. Just a cold hard glare that said, "I told y'all I wasn't playing." What made it worse was that this wasn't the first time Tasha had pulled these stunts. The Cardi B lawsuit already had her drowning in debt and legal restrictions, but apparently, lessons don't stick when your ego is louder than your bank account. And if you thought the courtroom drama was enough, baby, you haven't seen the internet yet. As soon as word leaked that Bambi brought the tape, Twitter, Instagram, and even TikTok went into full meltdown. Memes, reaction videos, think pieces from influencers who barely knew the story but had to weigh in. People calling Tasha K. the queen of lies and Bambi, the unexpected hero of internet redemption. And let's be honest, nobody saw that twist coming. One day she's the side character in a VH1 feud, the next she's walking into court like Olivia Pope with a vengeance. And just when you thought it couldn't get messier, a separate document was slid across the judge's bench. This one, an affidavit from another former associate of Tasha claiming that she was aware of at least 2 other instances where stories were completely fabricated for views. We're talking made-up text messages, staged screenshots, and fake DMs sent to herself and leaked online to make it look like people were confessing things that never even happened. If this gets confirmed, it won't just be a defamation case, it'll be conspiracy, fraud, and perjury all wrapped up in a digital bow. The court recessed for a break. But the tension didn't. Security had to step in because some bloggers in the hallway started arguing about who had the rights to publish the leaked audio first. Meanwhile, Tasha sat in a corner, phone in hand, furiously texting someone, like her life depended on it. Maybe it did, because the moment that tape hit the internet, it stopped being about drama. It became about reputation, integrity, and whether Tasha's entire empire was built on fiction disguised as fearlessness. And just when we thought it couldn't get more insane, the courtroom walls started whispering even louder. Word on the street is that Bambi didn't just stroll into that courtroom with a confident smirk. She came in, locked and loaded. With what, you ask? Oh, just a little thing called the real tape? Not the edited fluff they tried to toss around on social media, nope. This was the full raw, uncut version, and once it was entered into evidence, even the judge was seen leaning forward like he was watching Netflix. But let's back up for a second because what's actually on this tape is what made the courtroom go dead silent. According to leaked sources who claim to have seen portions of the footage during a confidential review, it captures Tasha K allegedly manipulating audio, chopping up interviews, and even staging some of her infamous so-called exposes. And if that's not enough to make your jaw drop, there's more. The footage supposedly shows a private backroom meeting between Tasha and a producer who's rumored to have ties to several disgraced online gossip bloggers. They're seen sipping champagne and laughing as they discuss how to make the next big fake. It's like they were writing the script for their own downfall. Meanwhile, Bambi's calm demeanor was unsettling. She wasn't rattled. She wasn't shaken because she knew what she had in her hands was more powerful than any tweet or live stream. The prosecution began dissecting the video frame by frame, and every second that passed, the courtroom grew more tense. You could feel the pressure mounting as people realized this wasn't just gossip. This was calculated, digital warfare. And you better believe people started changing seats. Former supporters of Tasha K began distancing themselves online with cryptic tweets and passive-aggressive captions. Some even deleted old collaboration videos and wiped their Instagram of any association. Public opinion turned overnight. Even her die-hard fans were like, wait a minute, what's really going on here? In the court of public opinion, perception is everything, and right now, Tasha's image was bleeding. Then, like clockwork, anonymous sources from Bambi's circle started popping up with screenshots. Screenshots of old DMIs, emails, and voice notes that hinted this takedown had been in the works for months. Allegedly, Bambi had been working silently, collecting receipts, talking to mutuals, digging up deleted clips, and tracking shady back-end payments made to off-the-grid editors who specialize in digital manipulation. One source even claimed that Tasha paid off a rogue IT team to scrub metadata from her controversial posts so the origins couldn't be traced. We're talking serious cloak and dagger tactics. But here's the kicker: someone from that very same IT team flipped. Yup, one of them reached out to the court under whistleblower protection and handed over a drive packed with forensic evidence. Allegedly, this drive contains timestamps, chat logs, VPN location swaps, and more. It basically laid out a blueprint of how some videos were doctored before being posted. And when that drive was presented in court, it was game over for the denials. Tasha's team tried to argue chain of custody, saying the drive could have been tampered with, but the court had already verified the file hashes. The tech didn't lie. Meanwhile, Bambi's lawyer, who had been relatively quiet throughout most of the proceedings, stood up and read a damning transcript aloud. The room went completely still. It was a message allegedly sent by Tasha to a now former associate, saying something like, "If this tape leaks, I'm done. Make sure it never sees the light of day." Boom. Mic drop moment. The audience in the courtroom collectively gasped. The judge called for order multiple times as murmurs exploded through the crowd. This wasn't just salacious drama anymore. This had become a full-blown exposé on media corruption, manipulation, and greed. And while Tasha sat stone-faced, the courtroom screens lit up again, this time showing synced video and audio evidence, comparing the fake versions that were posted online to the untouched originals. The differences were so obvious, it was almost laughable. In one scene, the voice was clipped mid-sentence to change the meaning entirely. In another, background noise was added to imply secrecy, but the original clips told a very different story. Unaltered, they exposed the quiet truth that Tasha had built entire narratives out of thin air. No wonder Bambi was so calm. She wasn't just defending herself, she was dismantling a digital empire built on lies, and the fallout wasn't just digital. Sponsors who had previously worked with Tasha began releasing statements. One beauty brand issued a public notice stating that they were unaware of these practices and would be severing ties immediately. Another fashion brand said they were reassessing influencer partnerships moving forward. It was like a domino effect. Her empire was crumbling in real time. One screenshot, one statement, one tape at a time. And don't think for a second that celebrities were staying quiet either. Some of the very people Tasha had targeted in past videos started popping up on X and Threads with sly, barely concealed jabs. One well-known reality TV star posted, "The truth always comes out." Always. Others were tagging Bambi in posts, thanking her for having the guts to finally pull back the curtain. It was a bizarre twist of fate. The same social media machine Tasha once ruled with viral soundbites was now turning against her with the same energy. The comment sections under her old videos looked like digital war zones. People were time-stomping lies, pointing out inconsistencies, and demanding apologies. And through it all, Bambi remained strangely composed. Some even speculated she had more tapes, more receipts, more dirt just waiting. Whether or not she released them remains to be seen. But one thing's for sure. This courtroom showdown wasn't just about revenge. It was about exposing the rot behind viral fame. And everyone watching knew it. The silence in the room as the judge called for recess wasn't just procedural. It was symbolic. The empire of edited truths had been pierced by one very real, very raw tape, and nothing was going to be the same again. And just when you thought it couldn't get any more explosive, the courtroom turned into a theater of chaos, with whispers echoing like wildfire. The judge had barely regained order when Bambi stood up in a defiant stance, holding what she claimed was the real tape. That's right. The real unedited footage that apparently held the answers the entire internet had been demanding. Cameras clicked, jaws dropped, and all eyes zeroed in as the alleged footage began rolling. Not in some sleek high-tech setup, but on a cracked iPad that had clearly seen better days. The room went dead silent. What played next wasn't just shocking, it was cinematic. Tasha K, caught in 4K, allegedly coaching a source on what to say during a previous deposition, dropping names, making insinuations, and laughing about how easy it was to twist narratives when you control the microphone. The tape didn't just throw shade, it threw the entire forest. From forged text messages to audio edits, every frame of that tape screamed manipulation. Some folks in the back gasped. Others pulled out their phones as if trying to go live before security came swarming. But the damage was already done. The judge called for a recess, but the court of public opinion had already reached its verdict, and that's where things spiraled. Social media, already on fire from the morning hearing, went into a full-blown meltdown. Twitter had Tasha K trending for all the wrong reasons, with conspiracy threads, side-by-side video comparisons, and self-proclaimed experts dissecting every pixel of that leaked tape. Even celebrities started chiming in. One reality star tweeted, "This is messier than a season finale, and honestly, I'm here for it." Another simply posted a popcorn gif with no caption needed. Meanwhile, Bambi exited the courtroom, surrounded by cameras, her expression a mix of vindication and sheer exhaustion. She didn't say much. Just a calm "the truth always finds its way" look before ducking into a black SUV. But sources close to her claim she had been holding that footage for months, waiting for the perfect moment to drop the bomb. And boy did, she'll time it well. Overnight, Bambi went from being painted as the instigator to being hailed as the queen of receipts. Her follower counts skyrocketed, brand deals that had gone cold started calling again, and fan pages dubbed her the silent assassin. As for Tasha K., the fallout was nuclear. Her legal team scrambled to request the court to dismiss the tape as inadmissible, citing chain of custody issues and potential tampering. But the visual evidence was too damning to ignore. Former collaborators started distancing themselves. A podcast sponsor pulled out mid-campaign and issued a vague "We stand for truth" statement without naming names. It was clear the tide had turned. What made matters worse was the revelation that this wasn't Tasha's first time allegedly fabricating narratives. Internet sleuths dug up old clips, past controversies, and questionable interviews where receipts suddenly looked a little too convenient. One viral thread even compared audio waveforms and claimed she had been editing interview responses for years. While that's a level of forensic investigation no one expected from Stan Twitter, it added fuel to the fire. Suddenly, every scandal Tasha had ever touched was back under the microscope. People questioned her Cardi B drama again. They rewatched old episodes of her YouTube series looking for inconsistencies. Even allies in the gossip community began backpedaling. One former friend said on IG Live, "I love her, but I'm not going down with that ship. It's giving Titanic." Meanwhile, legal experts began weighing in. Some suggested Tasha could face perjury charges if the footage was authenticated. Others believed the tape might open the door for a wave of defamation lawsuits. And Bambi's team, sensing the moment, teased that more tapes might exist. That's right, more. If the courtroom bombshell was just the opening act, imagine what's in the vault. A cryptic tweet from Bambi's manager reading "This is just chapter 1" had fans foaming at the mouth. Forums exploded with theories. Some say there's another tape involving a prominent rapper. Others believe Tasha had a burner phone stash used for coordinating stories. Whether true or not, the speculation alone kept her trending for days. Amid all this chaos, a bizarre twist emerged. An anonymous account started leaking screenshots, allegedly from Tasha's group chats. They showed conversations where strategies were being discussed on how to handle fallout, plant distractions, and even manipulate algorithm boosts for her videos. Again, unverified. But that didn't stop the internet from treating it as gospel. And if it's even half true, it paints a disturbing picture of media manipulation at its peak. Yet through all the drama, Bambi kept her moves quiet and strategic. Instead of doing a press tour, she dropped a single Instagram post of her sipping tea with the caption, "Silence is power." The post racked up millions of likes in hours. She knew exactly how to play the game now. Tasha, on the other hand, disappeared. No uploads, no tweets, no appearances. Her last live stream ended abruptly after technical issues, and she hasn't been seen since. Some fans defended her, calling the whole thing a setup. Others turned completely, burning merch and unfollowing in droves. Her empire built on controversy seemed to be crumbling in real time. And the courtroom saga, still ongoing. The judge has ordered a forensic analysis of the tape, and the next hearing promises to be even more explosive. Subpoenas have been issued, media outlets have camped outside the courthouse, and insiders say at least one former friend has agreed to testify. The stage is set for a showdown bigger than any season finale, because this isn't just about one tape or one scandal. It's about credibility, influence, and the cost of going viral for the wrong reasons. So as we wait for the next bombshell, one thing is clear. In this game of receipts, not everyone's ready for what the truth really looks like. And there, you have it. The receipts, the rumors, and the reality we weren't ready for. If your jaw is still somewhere on the floor after that wild ride, don't worry, you're not alone. This story has layers on layers, and the deeper we dig, the messier it gets. But we want to know what you think. Was Tasha K really set up? Or, is this the karma everyone's been waiting for? Is Bambi a silent mastermind or just finally had enough of the games? Drop your thoughts in the comments because this courtroom chaos is not over yet, and your voice matters in the mess. Make sure to hit that like button if you enjoy unapologetic truth-telling with a side of popcorn-worthy drama. And if you're here for the long haul, don't forget to subscribe and turn on those notifications so you never miss the next bombshell we dig up. Trust, more receipts are coming, and the tea is only getting hotter. This rabbit hole goes deep, and you better believe we're diving in head first. Until next time, keep your screenshots ready. Your sources anonymous. And your ears open because the next expose could drop at any moment. Stay tuned.